So the last video went through reading data in from files and writing data to files from Octave. And I thought this time around we would use a larger data set to look at rather than just a little tiny Excel file. Something interesting that quite a few news agencies have been reporting on is increased air quality now that everybody is staying inside. So there's been cleaner air all over the world, is what they're saying on the news, and that would be maybe kind of fun to actually look at some of that air quality data. So here is a site I found that has historical air quality data from all around the world, and I will post this link in the video so you can run around and get your own air quality data from it too. Now, some cities have better data than others, but let's just go ahead and look. So here is Houston. So you're going to type in a city here, hit enter, and you get kind of a preview of the data. So if you come and there's a whole bunch of gray, that is missing data. This is 2017. That's when we had our flood. I don't know if this data is gone because of the flood, but it's got fairly decent data back to 2014, so that's pretty good. So anyways, you type in a city, and then you can come over here and say download the data. And it has some data usage statements, so you have to put your name in here and agree to their terms, submit, and it will export this to you. This is actually not an Excel file, even though that's how your computer might open it as a default. So when you save it, be sure and save this as XLS and not like a tab delineated text file. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file not under downloads, but over where that other data file was. Okay, so here we go. Right now, this isn't in a form that Octave can use, in that some of this data is in here as a date, while others are in here as a number, and a matrix cannot have mixed format. Everything in there has to be the same date. I also have some columns that have a lot of data in it and others that don't. I have some missing numbers here. So I'm going to have to kind of play around with this in Excel a little bit before I send it over to Octave. Familiarize yourself, I guess, with what these numbers are. So going back to that website, what we have here, so this is the particle size, so 2.5 versus 10. And then we have some chemical compositions down here. If we scroll down, there's also a, this also explains the measurements. So the air pollution levels, 0 to 50 is good, 51 to 100, you're starting to get into trouble, up to reds and purples. So for Houston, it looks like we are mostly in the green here, but okay, so let's go back to our data set and clean this up so that we can send it over to Octave. So I'm going to go ahead and change this from a date format to numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and make day, month, and year. So we'll have a column for day, month, and year. And for this one, I don't want these to be dates. I want this to be a general, just number format. Okay, so I'm going to grab the day off of here and the month off of here. Here's the year. If I highlight this and double click, that will copy it to the end. And then I'll have some data with, now this is from year 2020 all the way back to 2014. So this is kind of all mixed up with different dates and months. And in Excel, okay, if you're going to scroll through 2,000 data points, that's going to start being a real pain. Let me show you a neat little thing. You can insert a pivot table, pivot chart, pivot table. And what this is going to do is help us organize this data. If I just start by highlighting a cell somewhere in the table, it will automatically grab the whole thing. Another thing for pivot tables, it needs a title. So each of these columns have something written. So I have date, day, month. So I need a descriptive title for each of these columns for this to work. Okay, so here we go. We've got our pivot table. And we have everything from the column headers in here. So let's say I want to look at my yearly data, and maybe I'll put months over here, and I'll take that first PM 2.5 had some good data in it. So I'll put that data in here. Over here, I don't want the count value field settings. I'm going to get the average. So we've taken the numbers from that kind of ugly spreadsheet that's really hard to tell what is going on. And this pivot table has organized everything for us so we have it by year and by month. So we can see the year by year trends of what these months are doing. It even has a grand total column over here that's looking at the average of all of the months. So this is a much nicer data set than what we had before. I'm going to go ahead and add one more sheet in here and take this final tabulated average data and right-click, copy, and move it over into sheet 2. And this is what I will use to pull into Octave. Looks like in, yeah, that's that 2017 flood year, we've got some trouble. So I'll have to clean this data table up a little bit more. I'm just going to fill zeros in for this value, or maybe I'll just leave them blank so that that doesn't mess up our numbers. Okay, so this is in sheet 2 for the Houston East data set. And I'll go ahead and save this. And remember, this is saved in that same data file that we had before for Octave. So here we are back in Octave. If I say print working directory, or you can go to your file browser and see where you are. So in our directory, we have our new data sheet. If I list the files in here, here's my new Excel file that I made, and I'm going to read this in. So xlsread and Control-C, Control-V out of that list. And remember that our data that we want is in sheet 2 of that Excel file. So we can go ahead and tell it, grab out of sheet 2. And one more thing here, we don't just want to read it in. Let's go ahead and assign it a variable. So I'll say H for Houston. Houston is equal to this XLS read. We'll grab the file and data out of sheet 2. Okay, so it's trying columns 1 through 8, 9 through 13. So that looks pretty good. We have, if we go back over to what the Excel file looks like, there was 12 columns for the 12 months, and then the very last column was kind of an average. And it looks like we've got 7 rows of data, and that is what's coming through. So if I type H, here's all of the columns and rows for H. And I can do things like maybe I want to grab this second number here. So if I say H 2 comma 2, that's giving me 37.2852. So sure enough, okay, so it looks like it read those numbers incorrectly. Let's go back to that website and grab just a few more data sets. So I don't know, let's look at India. Where's a good spot in India? Bangalore. So scroll down. It looks like they have a lot of data going all the way back 2015. So Houston went back to 2014, but 2015, that's still pretty good. That'll give us a good data set. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download this. Just like before. And I'll analyze this data just like I did the last one. So it has dates, it has the same data format as the last one did. I'll go back and forth and just copy those equations in from the last time around. Okay, so now I have general, I can copy these down. And remember how to create that pivot table. So here's a good review. So insert, pivot table, new worksheet, and we put year along the axis, month in the legend, filled in the data, and then we also took the average. The average should ignore any cells that are blank and just average out the data that is there. So once again, we have years and the data for the years. And to put this in Octave, we're going to get one new sheet. And I'm going to copy and paste this out of here. So we've got 13 columns, 12 months, and the average. Control V, and anything that says divide by 0, I'm just going to leave these guys blank for now. I'll maybe start with a 0 there. Okay, so we don't have quite as much data there. There's nothing from 2014, but I do have some good data for the rest of the years. Go ahead and get back to that website and choose a few different places, and we're going to grab these data sets and compare them. We'll compare how they look from year to year, and also compare maybe one part of the world to the other on these. Okay, so once we have all of those data sets created, we're going to go ahead and pull them into Octave. So I have a data set for India, for Houston, and here's one for China, and we'll get one more for LA. And you'll notice that all of these are 7 by 13 arrays. Let's go ahead and dig into this data and start plotting some information out. So we need something for the x-axis. Let's go ahead and put the years by the x-axis. So remember, we can create a list of numbers here. It'll automatically increment by 1 if we don't define anything in between. So that'll just give us counting from 2014 to 2020, which is what all those data sets were. And then we can go ahead and plot that year on the x-axis versus, let's take that 13th column of data, and if you remember how to grab the entire 13th column, let me just show you over here in the command window what this is getting. So instead of like 1 comma 13, we're going to grab the entire 13th column with this. So that should give us 7 numbers versus 7 numbers. Let's go ahead and try this out here. So we'll run it. Oh, have to save it first. I'm going to, go ahead and save it in the same folder. Every time you run it, it will save it. So there is Houston's data by year. Doesn't look like there's any clear trend there. Let's go ahead and add the other data sets on there too. So you put the XY pairs for each of these guys. So there's India, and here's the years on the x-axis with China's data. So we're just grabbing that 13th column from all of the data sets, which had the average for the entire year. Okay, so here we go. We're going to compare the trends for all of this now. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of formatting on this. It's hard to tell what line goes with what. So we can add a legend onto this. I think looks like we have Houston in there first, and then India, and next is China, and last is LA. So this will add a little legend to our graph if we run it now. See if that works. And yeah, so there's our legend. So we have the different lines. Looks like Houston has pretty good air quality. That's good to know. Okay, might as well add some X label. So years are along the x-axis and along the y-axis. We have the average air quality. And you can add a title to this. Start getting used to putting a little bit of formatting onto your graphs. It's always good to let everybody know what that data is representing. Okay, so we just made some nice graphs of averages, and this is from thousands and thousands of data points, and that's really where Octave shines. So one more thing we can do, this is a graph of the average of each year, and maybe we want to look at particular months. So I'm going to go ahead, Control C, Control V, and let's put some months in here. I think, let's see, January, February, March, April. Shall we put in April here for everything? Well, China really started before everybody else, right? So they should be maybe October. Okay, so this is going to grab not that last column, but we're looking at how the monthly averages are changing with year. And yeah, there's a downward trend, which is good. That means air quality overall is getting better. The lower numbers are better. And if you look at this specific month from years past versus where it is right now, the air is cleaner right now. So you can, I guess, debate about why that is. There seems to be kind of a downward trend with this, but interesting nonetheless. So anyways, very, very easy to grab that data, pull out whatever rows and columns you want from it, combine multiple data sets, and this is really what Octave is and MATLAB is made for, is analyzing data very easily. Large sets of data, and you can easily grab them and graph them and analyze them.